Cheers! Welcome to Movie Bitches, episode 117. So tonight we are reviewing Bridget Jones's Baby. So I'm just gonna go right out and say it. This movie is what I wanted Sex and the City movie to be.
Yeah! Like fun and entertaining?
I mean, to be fair, I actually somehow still enjoyed the first.
Well, the
Sex
first
and the
one
City
is
movie?
decidedly better than the second one.
Absolutely.
We can all agree on
But
that.
this is still like what I wanted that movie to be.
Yeah.
It was... This movie was so much fun.
So much fun.
And yet, so stupid.
Just the worst.
But I didn't care because it was so much fun.
There was a real high probability I was gonna like this movie. I love the first one. Like, I might go so far as to say it's my favorite rom-com. Like,
Whoa.
I love it. I watched it over and over and over. Couldn't get enough. Loved it.
Wow.
Second one, we can all agree, didn't happen.
I never saw the second one.
I mean, and like, Colin Firth, it's like, there's no words.
Yeah.
He really brought a nice, like, sincerity, grounding to this insane film that's wacky.
Yes.
Every time he had a scene, I was like, oh no, you're in the real movie. You're making this movie like a real movie. Not mad
The
at it.
same could not be said.
Oh boy. For Patrick Dempsey, who was a big weird creep weirdo.
I couldn't tell if he was just running with the notes, like the script, and he was like, oh,
yes.
He's like a real big creep weirdo. I'm gonna be a real big creep weirdo. What did you just say? I don't even know.
May I? It fits.
He was going for like this hipster, tech.0,
like LA vegan.
Yeah, like, oh, let's get the negative vibes out of the room, kind of.
But not even.
But he didn't nail that part for me.
It.
That's what he didn't nail. Either they needed to drop that, or they needed him to like really go all the way. But then you're just like, oh god, I hope it's not his kid, because yikes.
You go into it, at least I did, expecting her to end up with Mark Darcy. Like, that's kind of a no-brainer.
He's Mr. Darcy.
He's literally Mr. Darcy in many regards.
Yes.
But at least with Hugh Grant, the other guy in the other two movies, there was some kind of push-pull. Like, you were like, yeah, I want you to end up with Mark Darcy, but, like, you could sleep with Hugh Grant a couple more times. There's, like, a little more of whatever. Right. And this was very one-sided for me. I was like, Patrick Dempsey, you look hot, but you're a weirdo.
See, now...
I know, you don't really like him.
Not that I don't like him.
You don't find him particularly, like, sexy.
He doesn't really, like...
do it for you.
Turn my crank or whatever. I don't know.
That's weird. He doesn't polish your lighthouse?
He does not polish my lighthouse.
Can we make that a thing?
Sure.
Okay.
Some scenes, he would be real sexy. I'd be like, oh, you look great, yes. And then some scenes, I was like, what alien has taken over Patrick Dempsey's body? What is going on here?
Well, he was acting like James Marsden in Enchanted.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm your Prince Charming.
Right.
Isn't it charming? How charming I'm in. Here's some flowers and candy.
Oh,
and
God,
this.
that scene.
And it was just like, whoa, calm down.
Yeah.
Calm the fuck down.
Yeah.
You're this ideal that's too much.
Yeah.
They didn't make him enough of a viable second option.
You want it to be a little bit more real, where you're like actually thinking, like, which one does she pick?
Yeah. It's a weird role to play, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're never going to end up with the girl. It's the James Marsden syndrome. It's like, you're nice, but you're not Ryan Gosling. So the movie started and I was a little worried.
Yeah.
So it starts basically how the first movie opens. Her alone.
Right.
Drinking in her apartment. And like All By Myself is playing again. And I was like, okay, movie. And then Renée Zellweger like lip syncs to Jump Around and it's real awkward.
Jump Around.
It just literally, every time I hear that song I think Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yep. I was like, where's the donkey?
Where's the soccer cake with the grass? Watched that movie so many times. So I was like, what's going on? Where's Sally Field? Why isn't she breaking at this party up? Moving on.
Yep.
They needed to pick like a way dirtier rap song or
something. Sure.
Something that then it would have been funny.
Yeah. Oh, it should have been like Shoop.
Oh yeah, or TLC, like some like sexy rap song, you know?
Actually, no, it wouldn't have been great. It would have been weird still. But
Was
whatever.
Well, first of all, the woman who directed the first one directed this one. Awesome. And I read this is the only rom-com trilogy to star the same female lead and have all female directors.
Oh.
I was like, all right.
Well, I will say, I feel like that's part of why it worked.
Yeah.
She's a strong female character who is, like, driven, not ashamed of being sexually active.
Even though Bridget judges herself for those things, or her mom in the movie does, I don't feel like the movie ever judges her.
No. It was so nice, really, honestly, to have a female character that is, like, smart, funny, successful, promiscuous, and all of those are fine and wonderful. You know?
It was fabulous.
Yeah.
Well, and then the other reason this movie's fantastic is because Emma Thompson was one of the writers.
Love.
Oh my god.
Emma Thompson.
Emma Thompson is in this movie as her OBGYN.
She gave me life in this movie. It was so much fun. I was just like, give me more Emma Thompson!
She was just like the shadiest.
The shadiest OBGYN.
They're both equally likely, so do bring along the father if you can work out which one he is.
I guess the other kind of big deal about the movie is that, like, Renée Zellweger this time decided, I'm not gaining all that weight again. And it was kind of really funnily handled, where she's like, luckily, everything's a mess, but I'm finally at my dream weight. And I was like, yes, that's so Bridget Jones, that's so fabulous. Just like, my life might be in shambles, but I'm at my ideal weight. I couldn't be mad at how dumb and silly this movie was, because it knew exactly what it was.
Absolutely.
And it was fun and funny. Like, I was laughing both simultaneously at the jokes and at the film.
Exactly.
And it was like, and I feel like the movie's okay with that. Like, yes, Colin Firth is gonna pick her up while she's pregnant, and Love Lifts Me Up Where We Belong is gonna play, and I'm gonna be like, what's happening? But I'm okay with it.
So, they're at this christening that is like a fucking wedding. He's staying the night at this, like, cottage in the country, and they have, like, a full dance party, and, like, I was like, what is this event? An open bar for christening?
I've never been to one, so I don't know.
It was like, I think they just wanted an excuse that wasn't a wedding.
Yeah. It couldn't be like a bar mitzvah. Like, because they're not Jewish. Like a bar mitzvah is like...
Bar or bot.
Bot.
Either.
Open bar mitzvah. It couldn't be...
An open bar mitzvah? I love
it! It couldn't be like a bat mitzvah, because they're all Gentiles.
Sure.
Which is like on the level of a wedding.
Maybe give her a little kiss, you know, on the forehead there. I was talking about the baby.
Can we talk about when it turns into 50 Shades of Grey?
So
they've broken up since the end of the second film.
Right. He's been married. Turns out she finds out he's getting a divorce.
Yeah.
They kiss. And then
it gets real
cute,
sexy, slow-mo, handing you my room key because we are DTF.
And then it was just like this whole, like,
across the
room. It was really
like,
50 Shades of Grey, like.
What? Yeah.
Wait, can we talk about
Miranda?
Yes.
So she has this fabulous new on-air 30-something friend.
Half an hour later, I'm having a three-way with
Cute.
Prince Andrew. Has just written his first children's book.
I mean, again, I've said this before, I will say it again. Rom-coms live and die with the main character's friends.
Yeah.
If they have funny friends that like them, you'll like them and want them to fall in love.
Yeah.
So, like, all of her friends from the first movie make little cameos. They've all kind of settled down, this, that, and the other. But her friend, Tom, who's the guy from Austenland. The guy who's he's like Gaius Balthazar in Battlestar Galactica. Anyway, he's the gay friend that
didn't realize.
Yeah, and so they're in this like hilarious spin class where he's like shooting them with a
He's like, all right, you gorgeous bitches. Boo, boo, boo. It's so stupid. But it was like, so great.
I could see someone hating this film. Someone who's not here for what this movie is presenting could just read it to filth.
I really enjoyed this movie. I'm not gonna lie, I had so much fun in it.
Usually I don't like that comedy where someone is being embarrassed constantly, but for some reason when they're British and when it's Bridget Jones almost specifically, it's like extra funny.
Yeah, she just like,
She
it
has
works.
a way of letting, it's not like ruining her life.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just
Right.
like, oh my god, Bridget did it again.
Of course.
I also want to say how excited I am that this movie was rated R.
Oh
And
yeah.
how fucking refreshing that was.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I saw a rated R rom-com.
No, not that was a
Probably-
good one.
It wasn't raunchy, but it was like, tantalizing.
Adult.
Adult. It was an adult film. Oh,
Well.
shocker.
Well,
What?
it wasn't like.
I mean, not like porn. It wasn't like an adult film. It was a film made for adults.
Yeah.
Give me some Colin Firth staring at her, just like giving speeches about being amazingly emotionally repressed, but he really, really loves her. I'm like, yes, I want all of it. I want all of it. I want all of it. He does that better than anyone. He really does.
He does.
He fills out a suit really well, too. He looked great.
Now, here's a question.
Do I like Colin Firth? Yes. I have a real question.
Okay.
Why the fuck was Patrick Dempsey at their wedding at the end of the movie? Spoiler. Spoiler alert.
So, spoiler alert.
She has the baby, and then it's like, a year later, and they're at a church, and she's walking down the aisle, and you're going, oh, great, what's gonna happen? And Patrick Dempsey's there holding the baby, and you're like, oh, so I guess Patrick Dempsey's the dad, but she's clearly gonna marry Mark. Like, I thought, oh, they're all gonna figure it out? I don't know. And then you find out, no, it's Mark's baby, and Patrick Dempsey is presumably Mark's best man? Like, getting a DNA test together, like, bonded them for life. It was bizarre.
It was really weird.
It's like the final of the X Factor. Dial 01 if you want it to be Mark, and 02 if you want it to be Jack.
I feel like if I slept with some chick once,
Sure.
potentially got her pregnant,
Sure.
and then found out that no, in fact, I was not the father,
And she was in love with
the other person,
who was
then I'd be like, deuces, it was nice meeting you, bye.
It was weird that he was so into her so fast. Yeah. Well, and I read too that there was 3 different endings.
Oh.
And that even the actors didn't know which one they used.
Well, so there you go. That's why he was at the wedding.
Sure.
What they should have done is have Patrick Dempsey be the dad.
Yes.
And Colin Firth be like, I don't care, I love you.
I love you
because
anyway.
so my favorite part, or like the best like definitive part, right? She's talking to Patrick Dempsey, and he's like, oh, but we should like move in together. And she's like, but what if it's not your baby? And he goes, well, that would change things. And then she says the same thing to Colin Firth, and he goes, I would love you no matter what.
Yeah.
Or I would love him no matter what, just like I love you. And you're like, bingo, you win. Here's my vagina, take it.
Jack.
Like, but that's like
That was the right thing to say. Bingo, bango, here's my vagina. Because Colin Firth gets it.
Exactly.
You don't want to marry Mr. Wickham.
Mm-mm. Yeah, no, you don't want to marry Mr. Bingley. Yes, please. Mr. Wickham, no. Anyway.
Oh my god, I want to rewatch that again. All the time. Although there's 6 hours gone.
Yes, I like the Karen Annie version.
I really do too, but there's nothing that compares with the Colin Firth one. Like Desert Island, oh, I can only bring one thing. It's pretty much going to be that.
Wow.
I mean, 6 hours, so you got a lot of meat, you know? It's not like a short movie that you're going to be like, oh.
So, I would say, absolutely go watch this movie. It was bonkers, silly fun. I would say go out with your girlfriends.
Yes.
Have a bunch of drinks beforehand. Maybe bring some champagne into the theater.
I would say if you like Bridget Jones, if you like rom-coms, it delivers. It's really funny, it's romantic, it's completely ridiculous, and rather stupid.
Yep.
But like, in a lovely way.
Exactly.
So I liked it.
I had so much fun. I had so much fun.
It was really fun.
Cheers. I was waiting for some more alone time. I want to see him work in his lighthouse.